Welcome to data visualization. In this lecture, I'm going to use Matplotlib package to visualize and plot our data. I'm going to use the same data set which we already used before, salaries, for a set of faculty members with different rank, professor, assistant professor, associate professor, and with a discipline, PhD, how many years since the awarded, each one awarded his or her PhD, how many years in service, gender, and salary, as we see here in this CSV file. Okay. So here, firstly, I'm going to import Matplotlib package, and I'm going to refer to it as PLT here. And before going directly to our data set, I would like to use simple examples here to demonstrate these different graphs. Okay. If I have four variables as in form of lists, you already know about list, okay, as a set of data in Python here, numerical values, okay. And if I have x and y, x2 and y2, and I would like to plot x and y, x against y, and then x2 and y2, okay. So here I use PLT, which is referring to our data, our matplot package, and then I want to plot x and y, okay, and I would like to give a label first line, okay. And for the second one here, I want to use PLT plot x2 and y2, and I'm going to give a label second line, okay. As we see here, after plotting, we have the legend here. The legend take the same labels we give it here, okay. So what about the other attributes here in this graphing system, Matplot graphics? You can plot your graph, and then you can add another features to the same graph, okay. So we plot the graph first, and then we added the x label here, and then we added the y label here, and then we added the title, as we see here. Then interesting graph /n 2018, and then we can also edit or change the y-axis here labels, okay, and then we display the legend and show the plot, okay. Here in this example, just for your information here, if we remove these labels, simply here I would like by y-text, I would like to change or affect the distribution here to be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on in range of 5. As well, I can use the same and give it a label, as we see here in this example, okay. Okay. Bar chart, I'm going to use the same two vectors. I'm going to use students and courses. We have 2 students who are registered for 4 courses. 4 students each take 5 courses, 6 students 3 courses, and so on. So here PLT dot bar, and I'm giving the first vector here, which is the x variable students and y variable courses, and then give a label here. And again for the x, y, and title, legend, and shoot, simple like this. And we see here that this is the data, the graph, the bar graph for student against courses, okay. Okay. Now, what if we would like to change the colors for these for the data or variables which we have, okay. If we have a student and the courses, and then we have again students and the project. For 2 students, I have 2 students registered for 4 courses, for a student 5 courses, 6 students registered, each one of them registered for 3 courses, and so on. And I have 3 students are working in 1 project, 5 students are working in 2 projects, 7 students working in 4 projects, sorry. 9 students are working in 3 projects, 11 students are working in 2 projects, okay? So here I would like to plot the student against the courses and the student against the project using bar chart, and I'm giving the red color for student courses and the cyan color for students against the project, okay, against the projects. Okay, very easy and simple. The other attributes, as we already see before, that you can simply add it to your graph. Histogram. Here I have a vector of ages, here numerical values, and simply I can use plot.hist. Then I pass the vector or variable which I would like to represent or graph it in histogram, and bins equal to how many bins I need or I want in this graph. So if I set it to 10, see for example, we will see now the changes. Now hist type equal to bar, and r widths refer to the widths of these bars which we have here, okay? Okay, now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, I can change it to 20. Here it depends on the number of data inside your vector that you have here. Okay, in the same time you can also create a vector of bins which you want to use it later. Might be you would like to use it in different histograms, and then you can pass this vector to your bins attributes. Okay, attribute which you have here. Okay, let me change the widths here into, say for example, 2 here, as we see, or you can change it to 1. Then I can just keep it 70 as we see here. Okay, and the other attributes already I explained it before, is the same. Okay, this is ages for the x axis and frequency for the y-axis, and here is the title, then show the plot. Now for the scatter plot, it gives somehow show the correlation between two variables. As we see here, we have students and courses, and I would like to scatter student against the courses which we have. Okay, and I give a label student courses, and then color blue, or let us make it green. As I said before, you can use only a letter G, or you can use the word green. Okay, and then marker the symbol that you want to use it here and to represent your data in the graph, and then size of the symbol here. Let us make it 20 and see the changes. Okay, so we can see the changes here. Okay. The set of data which we have here in the vector student and the courses are very small. That's why it's not clear. Later, when we will read from CSV file, we will see somehow a better graph for scattering plot. A stack plot is another way to visualize your data in Matplotlib package. A stack plot depends on that you have one variable, and you have other variables that depend on that variable. So here I have days 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sleeping, eating, working, and playing. So if I have here days, and in day 1 you sleeping 7 hours, in day 2 8 hours, day 3 6 hours, and so on. Eating, let us consider eating not a number of times someone eating, let us consider it as hours also. Okay, so for day 1 he or she spent 2 hours for eating, day 2 spent 3 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. Okay, so we can have the same unit here for our data. Okay, so here plt.stackplot days, and then I want to show sleeping for the per days, eating per days, working per days, and playing per days. Okay, And then colors. Once the Python find an attribute, then it will consider that this is the end of your vectors that you want to represent, and then magenta, cyan, red, and black color. And then we have the other attributes here for the X and Y labels and title. So here we have the sleeping, then eating, working, and then play. If we want to add legend, in this case, similar to this one, is the same as before, but only we can add plot and keep the plot here empty for all activities which we have. So we have we give a label sleeping, okay, and again eating, working, playing, and also we give the color. So simply in this case, the labels shown here in the plot, in each of these plots, will be used as the legend here in this stack plot. Okay. Okay. Now, pie chart. Let us look to the pie chart here, which we have here. Okay. I have pie chart, and I have the percentage here, and I have one decimal digit after the decimal point, and I have legend, I have title, and I have label of the activities as we see here. Okay. Now let me move back here to my data set. Here I have days, then sleeping, eating, working, and play. Then I have slicing. So now the total sum here for all slices equal to 100%. 100%. Okay. Okay. Not 100 value. Okay. So now what the activities? Simply we have sleeping, eating, working, and playing. Sleeping, eating, working, and playing, and the colors which I need for each of these, activity. Now I use plt.py, then I will pass the data which I want to represent it in pie, slices, then labels equal to activities. These are the labels will be shown here, and then colors equal to calls here, the different colors, and then the angle for your graph. I put it here 90. Okay. Then I need shadow, xplot. I don't need to slice any part from here. I will show it later. And then autopact. I need only digit or integer value dot one digit after the decimal point. Okay. So let us run it. Now, if I would like to change this one into 45, as we see here, there is a rotation in the pie chart, so you can rotate it to the level that you want. Okay. Now, what about these slices here? I can move one slice. Okay, slice it out. As we see here, I just slide this one out. Okay, I can also slide that one 0.02. Okay, as we see here, it's a little bit slicing here. So let me put this one to 0 again and change this one into 9 here to see. Okay. Okay, so here I slices this one activity of working here. Okay, very easy and simple. Okay, now let me now read the data set which we have here from salaries, and then convert each vector which we have into another vector or variable. So I'm reading from, firstly I imported the Panda, and then I read CSV file which I have, assign it to data set named data set, and then I want to read the rank vector in rank variable of data, then discipline to discipline, then PhD service, and then gender or sex to sex, salary to salary. So I can use these vectors later in my graph script. Okay. Now let us look to line plot. I want to plot PhD, okay, and give it a label PhD. I want to plot again service, give it a label service. Simple like this. So in this case, it will plot both of them in the same canvas. As we see here, plot both of them in the same canvas. Okay, and again give a title for the X and Y. Again, give the label for X and Y axis, and then a title, and then I want to show the legend, I want to show the graph itself. Okay. Okay. Now I can plot more than one variable at the same time. Here I want to plot rank and the salaries, so which means that I can do some kind of not grouping, but I want to display salaries per rank. Okay, and they give it salary per rank, and then add the other attributes here. As we see here, that the professor, we have associate professor, assistant professor, and the professor, and for professors they got the highest package as we see here against the salary. Okay. Okay. Scatter plot. This is actually not a scatter plot, but we can convert to plot by using this attribute which we have here, by or pole. Okay, so simply if you change the plot attribute to pole, means that I would like to see it in a scatter plotting chart. Okay, so here I'm plotting PhD and services, PhD and services. Okay, and then give it a label here, and then this is the width of the point represented here in this graph. I want to show the grid legend. Okay, I want to show the X label and Y label title as well. I want to give the Y axis here the log value, so I want to use the log value as you see here for the servers. Okay, as you see here, also there is a correlation between PhD and the services, years of PhD and years of serving in duties and services. Okay. Scatter plotting, PLT, referring again to Matplotlib library or package. Then scatter, I want to graph using scatter. Salaries against range. Okay, so I have in the rank I have assistant professor, associate professor, and the professor, and I want to show salaries per rank. Okay, and then label, color, and marker, which I want to represent my data here, and then the size which I need for this one. Let me make it 50. Okay, as we see here. Okay, and the title legend. Okay, very easy and simple. Histogram, plt.hist of a salary, but we did not add any other attributes. We just display the salary vector in histogram. Now, what if I would like to combine more than one variable for the histogram, in the histogram, as well add more features, so my graph will become somehow better in representation. Okay, so here I have PLT histogram for hist, service, bins, number of bins, as we already discussed before, and then give the width, color, and label. And again for PhD, both of them will be displayed on the same canvas. Again, I give here for the x-axis the service / PhD, and the y-axis represent the frequency. Okay, so we name it distribution of frequency, and then give a title. And here I'm locating the legend to the upper left, left. Okay. Now I converted it into upper right, so it will become better as we see here. Okay. Okay. What if I would like to somehow change the number of bins as we see here in this previous example? Okay. So simply what you have to do, you can simply change the bins. So in this case, you increase the width for the bins that you have here. Okay. So I think it depends on the data set that you have. You can use the what is fit to you. So let us make it 10 here. 10 bins as we see here. Okay. Okay. A scatter plot again. We already discussed this, so already done with that one. Okay, but here I want to scatter a PhD against salary. So PhD against salary, as we see here, that most of our salary packages are between we can say between 0 and up to 40 here, but the highest package with the high service, as we see that the highest packages here, if we say that between 140 and 180, the packages are between we can say here between 18 years and up to 50 years of PhD. Okay, so the people you can expect that you will got in dollars around 145,000 per year. Okay, once you complete it, somehow you completed around 18 years of service and up to 50. Okay, very easy and simple way. Now histogram, but I just modified the bins. I'm doing a histogram for salary, modify the bins into 100 as we see here. Okay, but we did not change anything in the x-axis and y-axis, or even title, or even we did not edit or change the range here or the text in the y-axis. Okay, again for the histogram, if you'd like to assign a specific number of bins instead of giving a number, you can use this one. A stack plot, just I'm showing this example to show that might be you try to use a specific graph, but it will not give you the information that you need. Okay, so if we look to the previous example for a stack plot, here somehow is very useful, and it gives somehow a good picture about the activities, different activities per day. Okay, in terms of eating, sleeping, working, and playing. Okay, as we see here that sleeping somehow the people spend more time in sleeping and then more time in playing and working, and less time in eating. Okay, and is differ here, as we see here it differ if we compare in day 2 and day 3. Okay, we can find there is a big difference. Okay, but when we try to use the same graph here for service, and here we use it for PhD and service, it did not give me a good picture exactly. It shows only that most of the time the people spend in the service, but actually it did not give a good picture about what I mean. I think in this case it's better to use a scatter plotting or bar chart. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed that lecture. Okay, this lecture, and It's a very easy tool. Package Matplot, you can use it simply to represent the data and visualize the data, and this will gives you a good idea about the variables that you have in the data set, so you can later on select the variables that fits to your data analysis or processing, depend on the model or type of processing that you are trying to, or mining that the method for mining data that you would like to implement. Okay, thank you for watching.